Hey guys, what's up? Happy Wednesday. It has been some time since I've come to you live, and I wanted to come live today because I had something that had happened to me very recently, and it was like a light bulb. It was like one of those aha moments. And quite frankly, I have been taking a little bit of a step back from my lives because I've been busy, and it was a lot. It was a lot for me to go live all the time, constantly. So I wanted to do something that was nurturing for me and pour myself into the things that I like to do. But in the process of doing the things that I like to do and that fill my cup, I had something that happened to me that has been weighing on my mind for a while, and it's been one of those things where I'm like, I really need to go live on this, and I really want to talk about this because it's just been in there. Like, talk about this, share this, because it was, like I said, an aha moment for me. So as you know, for anybody that's ever watched any of my videos before or has not watched any of my videos before, a little bit of a down low on me is I'm a life coach and I have my own life coach. And so part of having those life coaching conversations is to kind of like work on myself so I can help y'all work on yourselves. And one of the things that I really need to work on is having compassion for myself. I'm not very good at it. I'm not very good at making time for myself. Not very good at like slowing my roll and focusing inward. And this is what we call in the world of coaching my survival mechanism. And it's just one of those things that if I'm not going, 100 miles an hour all day long, every day, grinding myself into the ground, then, I'm unworthy of X, Y, and Z. And, if I'm not working hard enough, I'm not worthy of it. If I'm not pushing myself, I'm not, deserving of those efforts or any fruits for my labor. And so I have to have more compassion for myself in that realm. And I'm constantly working on it. So I had a conversation with my life coach, which is, the impetus of why I'm bringing this to you guys. And we were talking about my struggle with infertility and how it really has affected my forward progress and has allowed me to constantly go back into my fears and that survival mechanism. I'm not able to have a baby because I'm not good enough. I'm unworthy. I'm unlovable. I wouldn't have enough love to share. All of these things that were preventing me from having compassion for myself in my struggle. And so anytime that I got really frustrated, I would always go back to that, well, this isn't happening for me because I'm not worthy of it, or I'm not lovable enough, or I wouldn't have enough love to give, or I wouldn't even know how to be a mom. All of my fears kick in, and so I have no room for compassion. And so in my conversation with my life coach, I'm explaining all these things, and her response to me was, I'm really sorry that happened to you. Now, I can't tell you how many times in my life somebody has said that to me. I'm really sorry this is happening to you. I'm really sorry you're having to go through this. And every single time that they had said it to me prior to very recently, I never heard it. I never felt it. I was never receptive to it. But when she said it to me, it was like, whew, like somebody took the weight off of me, and I was able to ingest it. And I was able to receive that. And I was able to look at it, not from my survival mechanism, not from fear, but from being in action, from being effective and receiving it and say to myself, you know what, self, I'm really sorry that happened to me too. And I was really able to finally receive that compassion for myself. Why? Because I was open. Because I wasn't coming from a place of I'm unworthy, I'm unlovable, I'm undeserving, and acting from fear and going towards that automatic way of being, that when something negative happens, it's because it's my fault. It's because I'm not worthy, I'm not deserving. And so when that happened, it blew my mind. It was like someone took the lid off and I had a brain dump, like, yes, compassion. That's healing. Self-love, that's healing. And yes, don't get me wrong. Sometimes when we come from our survival mechanism or our automatic way of being or coming from a place of fear, it can be protective. It can be something in your gut that's like, oh, no, don't do this, not good for you. And it can end up being something that is, beneficial for you. But if it's also not And I use this word balance loosely because balance is hard. It's super hard. But if it's not coming from a place of balance where you're also having a dual compassion for yourself and you're weighing it and you're realizing it's not because I'm not lovable or I'm unworthy that this happened. Sometimes, unfortunately, it is because it happened. It's not because you're not unlovable. It's not because you're not worthy. It's not because you're not a rockin' badass in your life and you deserve to feel fulfilled. But whatever it is, whatever you come to conclusion or whatever helps you to bridge that gap and get on the other side of it, there should be some compassion in there for you to help you heal with it. So for me, this was like a mind-blowing thing, and I was able to receive it because I'm working on compassion. I'm working on compassion for me. I'm opening the door for it to stop feeling like I need to always come from a place of fear in order to get anywhere. I was always thinking, well, if I have a little bit of fear, then I'll be safe, I'll be protected, and I'll be able to take care of myself. I'll be able to love myself. But on the other side of that was coming from a place of thinking I wasn't worthy of it. I wasn't lovable. So whatever you're going through, whatever you're in the middle of, if it's striving for you to be a better version of yourself or to get through something that is really freaking hard right now, I always like to say, like, you know, coffee is like really strong black. And then you add a little cream or you add a little sugar and it makes it, you know, taste better or a little bit more tolerable. Have a little bit of cream and sugar with your coffee. Help yourself get through whatever difficult situation or whatever you're striving for by making it a little bit sweeter for you and having that compassion to help you get through it because you deserve it. All right, guys, thank you so much for signing on. I hope this was like a little bit of a mind blow for you too because it blew my mind. Have compassion for yourself this week. Have love for yourself. And if you can, dare yourself, encourage yourself. Instead of coming from your survival mechanism all the time and that automatic way of being that is so consumed with fear, think if I loved myself through this first, or I pushed myself with a little bit of encouragement and fear, again, using that word balance loosely, having compassion for myself might not be so hard. It might actually feel really good. And also, I want to say, if you're going through something right now and it's a struggle for you and it is a huge mountain to climb, and it gives me goosebumps because it was for me. It was for me to climb that mountain of infertility, and it's something I make a choice to get through by loving myself through it now. Now that compassion door and window is open, every day I make that choice. But I want to say to you, in case this is your moment of actually hearing it, this is your moment of compassion, I want to say to you too, that if you're going through something hard and difficult for you right now, and it's taking a lot of energy out of your life, it's taking a lot of time out of your life, I want to say to you, I am very sorry that this happened to you. And I am very sorry that you're going through this. And if this is your moment to hear it and to heed it and to open yourself up to compassion and allowing yourself to take that on and say, I'm really sorry that this happened to me too. And I'm really sorry that I'm going through this too. Allow yourself that. Open yourself up to compassion. Open your heart up to it. Try your hardest not to come from fear. And if you do, allow yourself to have compassion for that too. All right, guys, thank you so much for signing on. I love ya. I love you so much. Always. I truly mean it. My heart is already with you, always. If you have any comments, please post them below. I'll follow up with you after the call. If you want to private message me and set up a one-on-one initial coaching conversation and talk to me, and we'll talk together about having compassion and getting beyond your survival mechanism, get at me. I'd be more than happy to do it. Otherwise, be good to yourself, guys. Really be good to yourself. Love hard on yourself. Be easy. Have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace. Bye.